Lake Tahoe, training with Joe Stevenson, UFC 95, main event, season 1, winner versus season 2. You down in Victorville, Joe? I'm up here. I'm hungry, homie. I'm coming.
I'm up here in Lake Tahoe because one of my best friends in the world and best training partners, Joey Gilbert, you know, he's a great boxer, and he's one of my best training partners, and he's been trying to get me out here for a year and a half. He's been saying, this is the most beautiful place in the world, you know, come on out, you're going to love it, you know, and being from New Mexico, I love the mountains. I always have. I love just being in the trees. I love being up high and with nature. You know, it's just ever since I was a kid, I've always loved nature. And so, you know, being up here is just the altitude, high altitude. I want to be up here in the high altitude. I'm traveling overseas to go fight Joe Stevenson. So I feel, you know, having more higher red blood cell count and more oxygen when I go back down to sea level, I feel is going to give me an extreme advantage with dealing with jet lag and time difference.
Rest, heart rate down, recover.
I'm dropping to 155 because it's, you know, a better weight for me. I feel that I'm going to be bigger, stronger, faster, and more flexible. And also, I'm going to be able to work more on my technique.
No.
Xande is the best in the world, and possibly, arguably, the best ever to compete in the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. 6-time world champion, defending absolute Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion, defending Abu Dhabi champion. You know, it doesn't get better than that. And in my opinion, you know, Saulo also. Saulo is one of the greatest to ever compete in the sport. He went 5 years undefeated. He went 2 years not even getting a point scored on him, and that's going against the best black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters in the world.
The main things with Diego, we work a lot on his positioning, on his accuracy, on his movements. You know, he's a very well-rounded grappler, and like I like to say, he's a diamond in the rough. And the whole thing is try to bring a little bit of finesse so he can use his weight and his timing to overcome his opponents. Because I think in this division, for all the guys that say they do jiu-jitsu, I think Diego, he's been training for us for quite a while now, and he's been evolving so much. And I'm just working a lot of specific positions on his strength to make his strength even stronger and work on his weakness, you know. He's a guy that he can defend himself very well, and I don't see him get too much in bad positions. And just pretty much working in more where he had a lot of mistakes on his past fights, you know, because what we want to do is once he get a good position, he don't lose and just finish the fight. Since he's dropping to 155 and he's doing so much cardio and stuff, sometimes you lose a little bit of that specific strength. So I'm working a lot of drilling, a lot of partial training, you know, because a lot of people think just grappling gonna help you, but sometimes if you don't put yourself in specific situations, you don't really work that things that we're gonna fatigue you, you know. So I try to put him in all the different positions that happens the most of the time in a fight, such as like half guard, side mounts, back positions. So we work that a lot because a lot of time you grapple, you don't see yourself in those positions, and then when you get yourself in that position in the fight, you're slippery, the guy's holding onto your gloves, you get fatigued, you end up missing it. So I try to capitalize all those little positions and make sure his body and his muscles are ready for that specific fatigue.
You know, in this sport, you have to keep evolving, you have to keep mastering your techniques and keep getting better and better and sharper and sharper. And that's the only way to become a champion. And in my opinion, you know, if you don't evolve, you get eaten. So with those two guys having my back, it gives me more confidence, and it also I love to learn, and I want to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I want to be a Saulo Ribeiro Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and represent and just be a champion.